The Roadmap to Reuse is a digital guidebook for bringing reuse to communities. It contains a variety of ways to get involved in bringing reuse to communities, both at the local and state level, including promoting policies that prioritize the 2 Rs of source reduction, reduce and reuse, and accelerating the availability of reuse and refill services to support sustainable behavior. There are 5 parts or sections within the Roadmap to Reuse, including a section detailing ways to get involved in growing the movement of reuse communities, networks, and policymakers, a section on how to enact local reuse policies that focus on food service. Well, you will learn in detail about these policies and how to get them enacted in your community. The section includes model policies and links to toolkits that you can use in your advocacy work. Next is the section on how to connect with key stakeholders in the community, which provides insight into typical interest groups and how to integrate their unique perspectives in the development of policies and programs to support reuse. Business owners, workers, leaders in highly impacted communities, persons with disabilities, low-income people, those who are unhoused, youth and senior organizations, faith-based groups. These are some of the people and organizations whose unique insights can inform our work and ensure that changes we seek are for all of us. Then the roadmap turns to how to support and accelerate reuse services and businesses in your community. This part of the roadmap shares ways in which you can support and help to grow businesses that deliver things we consume in reusable and refillable packaging. And finally, we've included a section on state and federal policies for reuse. State and federal policies currently in play include bottle bills and extended producer responsibility programs. These provide opportunities for us to begin to incorporate reuse and refill into our state and federal policies. The Roadmap to Reuse also contains many resources that complement the Learning Hub on the Upstream website. These resources are oriented to empowering policymakers and reuse advocates and accelerating the policy and business innovation changes that are needed for creating reuse communities. From the policy playbook to the policy tracker to the reusable foodware catalog, the reuse services business directory, and examples of model legislation and fact sheets. The resources library is extensive and will continue to grow. And the second, another resource that we are offering in the Roadmap to Reuse are the presentations that we have been giving in our own work to train the growing network of reuse solutioneers that we host within our coalitions and national conversations, as well as other regional forums. We offer you these presentations as a series of trainings that you can adopt for the purpose of educating all kinds of stakeholders in your community and networks. In the Reuse Wins training, we help people understand the benefits of reuse, not only for the planet, but also the economic benefits for businesses. This training is based on our Reuse Wins report. We found that one of the barriers for communities around changing the disposability model is the lack of vision about what indisposability actually looks like. In training number 2, we help people envision what a reuse community could look like. It showcases many of the innovative businesses and new systems that are iterating and giving policymakers and local community members an opportunity not just to imagine what the future could look like, but to inspire them to bring similar reuse systems and services to their communities. In the training on policies that prioritize reuse and reduce, we share policies that we at Upstream have helped to design and get enacted, as well as others that are being iterated in communities across the globe. Reuse is a total environmental solution. It's better for the planet through almost every environmental measure. However, with climate change as the most existential threat of our time, it's essential to understand how the consumption of products and packaging adds to climate impacts. Training number 4 provides insights into the ways in which reuse is a climate solution. It showcases how some forward-thinking communities are factoring consumption-based emissions into their climate action plans and setting targets for reuse in order to achieve greenhouse gas emissions reductions. And finally, training number 5 provides insights on how to launch a local reuse coalition in order to help bring these changes to your communities. We're happy to offer these slide decks in downloadable format for you to use to make presentations of your own. You can eliminate the Upstream logo if you choose, but please do find a way to credit Upstream for the slides that you've adapted. A slide at the beginning of your presentation acknowledging Upstream for the content, or a note on the slide that you're borrowing that credits Upstream for the content would be an appropriate way to acknowledge us. We can anticipate the ways in which you'll use the content we provide, so we ask that you decide for yourselves what you believe to be the appropriate ways to credit Upstream for the content we provide to you. And thanks so much. We hope that these trainings and the roadmap to reuse help you in your journey to bring reuse to your communities.